Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours. And we have again a lot of frontline change over the past 24 hours. The fact that we have 20 frontline changes constantly on a daily basis is a testament of the intensity of the fighting. So if the fighting is very low intensity, frontline changes are going to be very, very little. Or if they are very evenly matched, it's going to be very, very little. But we have been having frontline changes, like a lot of them on a daily basis. So the war is very hot right now. And so we're going to go into there is frontline changes at Vovchansk, Ivano-Darivka, Sperne, Rozdolivka, Druzhba, Zalizne, Pivdene, Yurivka, which is New York, and Progress. So we go into the frontline change at Vovchansk. So this is the only one that is no advantage of the Ukrainians. Ukrainian forces are getting struck by the thermobaric rockets over at this location. So the Russians shelled the Ukrainians over there, but that also shows that the Ukrainians are there. So which means that the Ukrainians have actually made some advance over on the eastern part of Vovchansk. So continuing the success they had previously, where the Russians seems to be weaker over on the eastern part of Vovchansk as they continue to try to find a solution out of this conundrum in the center of Vovchansk where they are not making progress. So this is the situation at Vovchansk. The next frontline change is over at Ivano-Darivka. So this is at the Sivas front. So in case you do not know, Sivas front is here. Just now we were all the way here. So at the Sivas front, there is new updates. Based on the Russian mapping, the Russians have mapped it in this way. As mentioned previously, I believe in the frontline changes report, all the there's a highlights because I didn't manage to do the sitrep yesterday. Seems to be the consensus that what the Russians have done is to actually progress from Sperne as well as from the south towards Ivano-Darivka. And based on the mapping, because of the geolocation plus the Russian mapping have mapped the entire Ivano-Darivka as under Russian control, I have declared that Ivano-Darivka has been captured by the Russian forces. So, and I think this is pretty easy to accept that this is the case. Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian source, is still trying to verify the situation. So they have no updates regarding the mapping around here. But according to their words, it seems like they are trying to clarify the actual situation. But it seems like they will acknowledge this capture pretty soon within the next 24 hours. That's my guess. So this is the situation. Based on Russian mapping, they map it like very straight, but it doesn't matter. This entire area is just open ground, so I map it in the way I did. So this is the Russian advance over in the past 24 hours. Basically they could have done it 48 hours ago, just that now it's just some updates in terms of the front line. So after Sperne and Ivano-Darivka, we have frontline change over at Rozdolivka. So based on the Ukrainian mapping, Deep State UA has acknowledged the fall of Rozdolivka to the Russians entirely. Based on their mapping, Russian forces have taken the entire of Rozdolivka. So, which means that we can now declare that the Russian forces have captured Rozdolivka. So we shall give the flag to Rozdolivka. Russian forces captured Rozdolivka. So we'll put it as the 19th of July. So this is a confirmation that the Russians have taken Rozdolivka. So similar to the situation at Ivano-Darivka, the Russians have captured the entire entire area, region, within the past 48 hours. The Ryba first declared the capture of Rozdolivka since 28th of June. That is almost a month ago, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago. So this Ukrainian acknowledgement comes very belatedly, and the Russian mapping is actually way ahead, of the Ukrainian mapping in terms of where the progress is. So it is what it is, but at least now we have corroboration from the Ukrainian side, so we can declare this. Ivano-Darivka situation seems to be pretty clear because of the geolocation, so which is why I don't think that there's much more to be disputed over there. So after the Rozdolivka Perezhne region, let me see. Rozdolivka after Rozdolivka, we have go to Druzhba. So we go into the New York front. So over at the Druzhba region, Russian forces have been geolocated in a new location in Druzhba, confirming they are continuing their creep towards in the westerly direction to capture Druzhba. So this is a continuation of the creep by the Russian forces moving in this direction. So that is the frontline change over at Druzhba. Further south, we have some slight frontline change over at Zalizny. According to the Russian mapping, they map it in this way, which makes perfect sense because this line of buildings can't possibly not be under Russian control because the Russians have taken the entire area here. So the Russians make some advance in the area of Zalizny. So after this, after Zalizny, at Pivdeny, based on Russian mapping, this is based on Russian mapping, so this is a Russian claim, that they have some advancement in the Pivdeny region, moving closer to some heavy entrenchments around this area here, where the Ukrainians have some very, very complicated trench system around here. So that's it from Pivdeny. Nearby, over at the New York front, there is some updates. So I believe at Yurivka, so there is some expansion of the Russian control. Basically, the Russians have taken one more street. This is based on information from the Russian mapping. So this is just a claim for now that the Russians have actually one more street, and this also extends southward towards where this junction is. So the Russian forces have this firm control around here, which makes perfect sense because there is no place to hide. The Ukrainians can't be here. So I think this is just a pretty much a foregone conclusion. The closest place around this area will be this forest region where the Ukrainians can hold position. Otherwise, this area here definitely is under Russian control, and this is probably no man's land. So this is probably the how the front line actually looks like. So after Yurivka, we have the final frontline changes over at Progress. So more progress over at Progress. So this is actually pronounced Progress because H is actually G. I find it very difficult to pronounce it that as a Progress. Because although I like to pronounce it the way how the Ukrainian English spelling is, but it's Progress, so I just say Progress. But no, but it's Progress. Over at Progress, the Russian forces So yesterday there is a geolocation. So yesterday we have drawn a dragon head over here, right? Where the Russians have taken all these forests. And I mentioned that the Russians is going to be able to attack in multiple vectors. And this seems to be correct as the Russian forces attack in the north and in the center. And this allows the Russians to capture more than half of Progress in this region here. And we are now at the verge of the collapse of Progress. This geolocation is actually Russian forces raising the flag. And they are actually pretty relaxed in the video. This one I bothered to watch the video. Sometimes I do the geolocation, I don't watch the video because it's like, when you watch too much war porn, you just get sick of it. So, but for this one, I watched because I think this is a bit significant. So, and I learned my lesson from the one that was, the one heading towards Vodian. I didn't watch it, and that caused me to give a slight inaccurate information. So, yeah. So this one I did watch it and see the soldier is very relaxed in the buildings. They just walk around. It looks like the Ukrainians just did a mass retreat around from Progress already. Or Progress, so they are not fighting in this town. Looks like there is severe manpower shortage on the Ukrainian side for this to happen, because this is very uncharacteristic for the Ukrainian forces. They tend to fight for every inch and every centimeter. Somehow the Russians seems to have progressed pretty fast over this area here, and the Russians raising the flag, walking relaxingly, does shows that the Ukrainians may not be actually in the village at all. So Russian forces taking tremendous ground and leaving just a little bit of grounds left. I don't think there's Ukrainian forces here. At most they might be at Vovchansk, so they might be here, but they may not be there as well. So I'm not sure, because the Ukrainian situation here has collapsed. The entire front line has collapsed for them. I'm not sure where they will want to put up the resistance. So because even heavy entrenchments like the one at Yekhanivka, the Ukrainians seem to just abandon it. Right, the Russians have it so easily captured all these places. So I can't imagine the Ukrainians want to hold Vovchansk and Pokres because it's a bit difficult to defend around here. So anyway, it is what it is. So anyway, these are the frontline changes over the past 24 hours. I haven't finished the mapping yet. So the frontline changes have already finished mapping, but it's just the fighting information. I haven't completed the Ukrainian and the Russian Defense Ministry's information, which I will continue after this publish of this video. And then I'll probably pre-record the sit rep and then schedule it to be published later today. So so that I can go out to dating. You know, it's Saturday, you know, it's time to party. No. Okay, thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe. See you guys in the next update.